Yes, I'm aware. Wednesday season 2 dropped this month, I believe. Season 2 part 2 is dropping in September, first week of September. This is the first time I've gotten around to watching the show as a whole. I was trying to wait for the right time to go and watch it, and I did last week. I got through all 8 episodes of season 1. This is just going to be a season 1 kind of review, which I'm glad that I do it now, so I have the time to also see what season 2 part 1 had to offer, and now with season 2 part 2 I can give an actual review when it drops. So that'll be pretty exciting, honestly, because I definitely didn't hate this show, and I wanted to go into some things that I did like about this show, and I've known about it for a long time. I just never really prioritized it over other shows I also wanted to watch for the first time. And this was just the best convenient timing. So Wednesday is a Netflix original, obviously, and it is ending this year, so a little bit sad, but better late than never, right, to get into it. I really liked Wednesday as a main character. I was a little skeptical, I'll be honest, but I think she's handled pretty well. I like how this TV show is almost like you're reading a book. If you went into a library and saw a book about mystery, it almost is told to you, and the narration from Wednesday herself in times in the show feels like you're just reading a book. And I kind of like that for the tone, the theme, just the vibe of the show. It does take place at Nevermore Academy, which is where her parents, when she got sent there, of course, because of shenanigans that she got involved with at her public school, because she was trying to defend her little brother. And I'll get onto her family in a little bit. But I also like the cast of characters. Normally going into shows, big emphasis for me is are the characters actually likable? Are there something about them? I think most of them, yeah. Some of them I think were a little more on the less interesting side, but less to follow. I will tell you guys straight up, I think my favorite character out of the season is Enid Sinclair. I really liked her character. She brought so much to every single scene she was in. And she almost brought a nice uplifting just sense. And I really liked her, and I did realize halfway through that she also does one of the characters in the Minecraft movie, which I did go see in April just for the shits and giggles. And that blew my mind. Because I knew her from somewhere. And I couldn't put my finger, honestly. I'm just going to go look it up after I finish this episode I'm on. I'm like, oh my gosh, she was in the Minecraft movie. I think it was her voice that just clicked in my head for some reason. It just rang a bell and it felt really familiar. But yeah, Wednesday kind of goes on this mystery about just a bunch of murders and ghostly spirits. It's kind of that type of show, which I typically kind of like those type of shows. So it's also a reason why I want to get into it. I heard some good things about it too. And I especially just want to, be in the know-how when season 2, part 2 drops. And I haven't even seen any season 2 stuff, by the way. So it's really cool to just do this video now. I'm actually going to go and watch season 2, episode 1, after I record this video. But I wanted to make sure I get my season 1 thoughts before even watching the first episode season 2, so I can only have season 1 in my mind. I feel like that only makes sense. And I just think that the 8 episodes were paced really well. I don't think anything was really all that rushed. It was a nice pacing, nice spacing. And it puts you into the mind of course, Wednesday, who almost just seems heartless at times, but throughout the story, and you can tell in some bits, she does have a heart, but her heart is just very cold, if that makes sense. She doesn't feel that many emotions, but sometimes it does creep out because she still has a heart. It's just not the traditional one that you see with most people. And like I said, I like the good mystery elements, and the reason why they were good, I feel like some of them were, to be fair, I would say pretty unpredictable. I would say all the visions, pretty interesting plot point, but I mean, it's explained. As long as something's explained well, and I think it was, it works. I also like some of the other characters, like Eugene. Not huge on Bianca, but she also is added to the cast. Ajax maybe could be a little more interesting, in my opinion. I know Tyler turns out to be a demon, kind of, but I know he's in season 2. I don't really know where most of these characters' fates are in season 2. I know maybe even some of you have seen season 2 part 1, and now I haven't. But yeah, I would say Tyler's still on base level. whether you like him or not, I still think he's an interesting character. Same as his father, who's the deputy. He also was another layer, almost like another objective for Wednesday to navigate around, because he doesn't like her and he thinks that she's just being a nuisance. And I'll admit there was definitely times where Wednesday, I just don't think, takes into consideration other people as much as he should in certain moments. And I believe Marilyn is her name. That was actually the biggest twist, like, to my mind. That was a nice just twist reveal and like who it actually was. I also like how this season did not shy away from having some significant character deaths, and like some of them were pretty brutal. Like, you saw them on screen and stuff. Gives this very much mystery element. You get into some of the lore as well. Very minimal, which is one of my big cons, but you still get some sort of lore about her parents and their experience in Nevermore, what they went through. So it's almost like this kind of ghost mystery haunted aesthetic of the Academy that's been going on for a couple of years at this point. And I also think that I like some of the dynamics are like pretty good. I also, not just characters on their own, I also like seeing how dynamics work. Enid and Ajax I think could be better, I'll be honest. Enid and Wednesday I think might be the best duo of the show. I like their dynamic, as like contrasting as they are, but it's almost like because they're so contrasting, they kind of work that way. So that's like really cool. The principal, that woman with the white hair, that's kind of a slick back. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I actually feel a little bad for her, the way things ended. Thing, oh my god, I never thought I'd say this. Like, Thing kind of creeped me out at first, obviously, because it's just a moving hand. But if you just think of Thing as like his own character, he's probably one of my favorite characters. I don't know. I really like Thing. He grew on me. I'll admit, he grew on me like throughout the season, like as we were going along. And I'm just gonna get right into probably my biggest con of this season. I still liked it. I think the only thing I wish we saw more of, though, was just her family. I think we could have had a little bit more of a family dynamic, especially since her family's history and just the family in itself seems like pretty important pieces of the puzzle. Like I said, I haven't seen season 2, so maybe that fixes that, but kind of changes it, tweaks it, who knows. But yeah, I wanted to see more of the parents for sure. They were very interesting characters, but they only show up at the start when they drop her off at Nevermore and when Parents Weekend happened, and that was a whole episode, which also was probably one of my favorite episodes because I just think they made things better when they were there. And her little brother is interesting too. I liked Eugene a lot too. He was almost like a comic relief side character, but like he also has some like nice he has like a nice IQ to him, if that makes sense. He was pretty wise and smart and some just instincts and ambitions and stuff. So that's just my raw take on Wednesday season 1. I like the season. I think it's pretty good. Naturally, I'm going to want to compare it to some other Netflix originals. I'm trying to just see it as its own thing, because I'll be honest, I still wouldn't say one of my favorite Netflix originals, but that's totally fair. Not everything can be your favorite, but I didn't hate it. I think that it was actually a solid season of just television in general. I'm looking forward to season 2, and if like judgment calls, I think season 2 definitely has potential to almost outdo season 1 for me, but I'm gonna have to see how things play out. I also heard from people that there's this one actor from season 1 that doesn't return in season 2 for a lot of reasons. I will look into that and do some research after I see it. I'm almost like interested to see who this is, but I think I have a interesting idea. Like, I have an inkling on who it could be based on just like what I've seen, what I've heard, but now that I've especially watched it, I think I might have an insight on who it is. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But I am going into it knowing that there's some significant character from season 1 that doesn't return. I am curious to see who that is. But yeah, that is just my raw reaction to Wednesday season 1. I will go and just start episode 1 of season 2 right after I'm filming this. I'm not even joking. Just wanted to get this video out there before I went and watched it. But yeah, welcome to the first Wednesday video on YouTube. Here's to more content in the future for most media. But yeah, I'm really excited actually for starting Wednesday season 2. And I'm definitely excited for part 2 to drop in September. This show's pretty good. You know, let me know if there's something else you guys just think that should be brought up to me, something that I didn't pick up on, or just, you know, something more about this show that maybe I don't even know at this point, just without spoiling it, obviously. But I get it. It's out. I'll make sure to, like, go and watch it, you know. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching Wednesday season 1, just raw review and just reaction to it.